Okay. Good morning, everybody. I think you can see my screen and you can hear me talking. I'm Vincent. This is Listings to Leads, and today is our Get Started class. This is normally for our new clients who are signing up and want to learn how to use the system, but it's always smart to check in with us like once a quarter because new things are happening either from a technology standpoint, because we're pushing new service, or just things are changing in the market and people are getting more results. And so we want to be able to share that. Anyway, let's talk real quickly about what Listings to Leads is. It's an advertising platform designed for realtors primarily. A lot of lenders use this. A lot of title professionals just had a call this morning. Agents sign up on the website, but we also have team accounts and brokerage accounts. We have a large shop. I think they have 2,800 agents. We can help at all kinds of levels in real estate. What our focus is here is lead capture. Okay. And we do this through advertising. We can do this by advertising your listings. And you would think that if you have listings that we are going to help you get buyers, and we will help you get buyers, but we also help you get listings based on your current listings. And if you don't have listings, we still have a lot of tools to help you get more buyers and more sellers. And our goal again is to capture contact information. So we do this in a lot of ways. We do this with social media, free social media tools, paid social media ads, like on Facebook and Instagram, also with ads on Google, also with e-flyers. So if you have a good CRM or with hundreds or thousands of leads, you want to be using our tools there. And also in print. Our print tools, oddly enough, generate the highest quality seller leads, listing leads than any of our tools. It's a letter. I'm going to show it to you. We're getting started here, but I'll show you where all those things are. So I want to talk a little bit about how you get your arms around this platform, right? Because there's a lot to it. Often we hear there's so much, it's overwhelming. And that's it's a double-edged sword, right? You want to have enough value to do things that you need in your business, but then you got to learn like how you're going to do all that. And I know that software is always complicated by that. But our stuff, once you get your arms around it, it's actually not that difficult. There's probably 5 to 10 things that you want to be doing continually, these kinds of actions. And once you get the hang of it, you've got a serious marketing machine. But to learn how to do all that, and do me a favor, if somebody could go to the chat panel and just say hello or ask a question, I can send these links. The first way of learning is by our today's Get Started. Scott does something every week as well, which you definitely want to check out, about how to work your farm and how to work your database. It's really good conversations of a lot of parts of the platform. I'll be doing a call for lenders on Thursday, and then I do top tools for more listings, and I do Facebook and Google ads. So this is all on leadgenwebinars.com. And if somebody can toss in a hello in the question panel, I can send this link to you. Now, all our calls that we do, whether I do them or Scott does them, we record them all, including the call we're on right now. And you can see them all here on our YouTube channel. And I think this is actually our best resource for you to learn what's going on. And you can see, here's my recent class on Facebook and Google. This is Scott's geo farming call. Now I got a couple rollout calls. So you'll see these over here as well for the offices that we're rolling out. Top tools for more listings. And I want to point out, I think top tools for more listings is critical. I think you need to know how to get more listings. And if you think that you want more listings in your business, I recommend that you watch 2 or 3 versions of this call, because we don't say exactly the same thing. Scott and I are talking to agents every day. We're getting feedback from our agents in either email or a mastermind group. And so we're hearing things and we're sharing them live on the calls. So it's just not exactly the same canned story every week, right? That being said, at least 50% of it's going to be the same. But once you get your arms around it, you'll know that, okay, I don't need to watch the whole thing. So I have 2 recommendations, and I'll tell you why when it comes to this channel. One is watch top tools for more listings, a few times. The other is, you notice how there's 788 videos? That alone freaks realtors out. I've been on the phone and like, oh my God, I got to watch all that. No, I tell you what I do recommend, that you watch the first 3 rows of videos. That's 12 videos. Like this one's 5 minutes long. That's an hour, 6 minutes. If you do that, you're going to know what we're doing. And I think you'll be able to figure out what you want to use to improve your business. So it takes a little bit of time and investment, but I'm pretty much certain that there's not a more powerful company in real estate advertising when it comes to hitting your farm markets, hitting social media, using email and print, all with call to actions, all with the ability to capture leads. There's no company doing this. It just doesn't exist. We know our competitors, and that's just the story. Now, here is our mastermind group. It's a private group. I'm going to show you where to join. It's on Facebook. Honestly, you should be scanning this for 10 to 15 minutes every week, because you're going to hear, and I'm actually going to go through it here just to give us some food for thought, because there's some good questions asked in the mastermind group that I was just scanning earlier. But this is a place that our clients like you ask questions. It's also where they share, hey, this is what I'm doing for success, right? So you're learning by their questions and also by what they're doing. Now, also what I want to say is, in this little go-to meeting navigation bar, there is a button. There's a bunch of buttons, right? And one of them, I think, has a piece of paper on it, or it has a paper clip on it. Please click that. There are two documents. One is this one, Facebook and Google ads. And the other one is this one, top tools for more listings. Now, I don't know if you recall, but we actually have two videos based on these two titles. But I think you want to download these and print both of them and leave them on your desk. This one here, top tools for more listings, is literally what you want to be executing on throughout the month. And I'm going to just go over here to the Facebook and Google one. These actions on this Facebook and Google, these are some of the easiest ways of capturing buyer and seller leads, right? But if you're focused on getting listings, all of these things are the best ways to get listings. I'm going to read through it real quickly. Mail out the nearby homeowner letter, run ads on later stage listings, create a home valuation page for your favorite farm area. You can actually create unlimited landing pages. You might have 4 or 5 farm markets, right? But once you've done that, you run ads on Facebook and Google, right? We also have 80 PDF guides in your accounts, right? They're all branded to you on every page. They're all about 5 or 6 pages long, and 40 are for home buyers and 40 are for home sellers. All right. So because this page is top tools for more listings, you can run ads on Facebook and Google to get seller leads with those PDF guides. It also says market the PDF guides. And that's because, like I said earlier, you can actually use free social media tools. We create landing pages for these. There are postcards and there are e-flyers that you can take and blast in your CRM. All right. And so you can market them without running ads, right? Then there's a home sold report, which is actually a report built on the back of the home value page. So if you created a home value page for your favorite farm market, there's going to be a home sold report that you can mail out and get people to that landing page to capture seller leads. Then mail just sold postcards. There's an e-flyer that you can use for all of your listings and for all of your landing pages, and an e-flyer for all your PDF guides that you can use to capture seller leads. And then there's a seller's social media tool. Sellers, we actually create home tools for the homeowner. And then here it says advanced, create a custom audience on Facebook. And I'm going to touch on that real quickly. Okay. There are a number of companies, including archagent.com and ListSource and Remind and RedX and Vulcan 7 and Cole Resource, and I'm sure many others, who will sell you a list of homeowners with equity, right? So if you've got a farm market, it could be any city, it could even be a small development. You want to own a list of homeowners with equity, right? Now, there are a lot of companies, I named a bunch. I'm not going to show up all the websites, but you want to find that. You want their name, phone number, email, and mailing address. Okay. Once you have that, what do? You take this little document here and you start mailing letters to those people because you have their addresses. You create a custom audience of those homeowners in Facebook so that when you're running a home valuation ad, you can literally say, I just want those people on that audience to see that. I don't want a 15-mile radius in whatever city. I want those people who I know already have equity. And then, as I mentioned, we've got e-flyers, a whole year's worth of e-flyers if you're emailing every week, even more than 1 year. So you can take that list that you bought, upload it in your own CRM, and hit them every week with an email from us, because you'll see soon there's a lot of call to actions in all those emails. So what I'm trying to say here is, and of course you can call them, right? If you feel like you like to call people, if you have that list of homeowners with 5 years or 6 years plus equity, and you've uploaded it to your constant contact or your CRM, you can email those people for free every week, because I'm going to show you where the content is. You can upload it to Facebook and run an ad every week to those people, right? You should be running an ad every week on Facebook. I can tell you that, and I'll explain why in a moment. And you should be mailing something once or twice a month to that market. Now, this is a little more substantial marketing than, hey, how do I market an open house, right? But we can do that kind of stuff. You get a listing, I can tell you how we do all that. But if you're trying to grow your business and stay in this industry and grow your business, you want to print this, have it on your desk, and make sure you are emailing your leads or your core database once a week, that you're running ads in front of your market on Facebook once a week, and you're mailing once or twice a month. Okay. So let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of the Facebook one, because we're going to see Facebook and Google here in a minute. So I want to go back here. This is our mastermind group, and I'll show you how to get it in just a minute. But there were some good questions. I thought this is a good place to start. Amber here, actually, this is why I want to say she 4 hours ago, she says, hey, I'm getting a lot of spam from my auto posting and scams on Facebook. And literally, I want to say, for the past week, maybe, we're noticing that servers in the Netherlands are spamming all kinds of agents all over Facebook. So we're blocking those on our side, so we can block IPs, and we're doing that. But if you see that problem, send it to support. We'll block those IPs. There's always like scammers and who knows, Russians and nonsense like that, and the Chinese. But anyway, I don't think it's the poor people in the Netherlands trying to scam us. I just think somebody's like going through their servers. And then here's a good one. I tried a home value ad for a week and got 62 clicks and no leads came through. Anyone got any advice? Now, I didn't see her ad, but there's people run ads and sometimes don't get any business, right? They don't get, and I really don't like that. And that's why I do a class called Facebook and Google ads every 2 weeks, right? You should join that class if you don't want to be wasting your money on Facebook or Google, right? Because you might think of something, and I don't know what this lady did, but every once in a while we hear that. Most of our clients, as you can imagine, don't take the time to learn how to use this thing. They just go in there and start clicking buttons, and sometimes they luck out and sometimes they don't. Taylor has burned $50. And I'm not really happy to hear that. Hopefully he will get on a class one day and learn what can go on. But I can actually tell you if I looked, I could tell you exactly what went wrong there. Is there a way to upload some contacts from our CRM into listings to leads to use the emails? And the answer is no. One of our clients says no, but they give you all the copy that you can copy and blast in your CRM. And that's a great answer. That's the truth. You cannot upload your leads here. You'll want to, because you'll start seeing our lead follow-ups and you'll be like, wow, these are really great. Right. And this is the last one. Is there a way to run an ad in L2L for an in-person seminar? And the answer is yes. And what I would suggest, because I have this call with a lot of people, because people like to do like first-time home buyer classes and things like that. And for that, and actually one of the clients mentioned it as a response, create a landing page. That's right. So there's a landing page section over here, and I'm just going to jump to that real quick and we'll get into the broader concept of what's going on here. But you get about like a handful of landing pages already created for you. Free home value, down payment assistance, new construction. And let's click here. You can create unlimited landing pages. And Property Valuation Plus is the instant home value, iBuyer, Bizbo. But a custom buyer landing page is exactly what you want to create when you're doing like a workshop, right? And then once you've created it, you can run an ad on Facebook, or you can take it and get a print flyer and go leave it somewhere. And there's lots of ways of marketing once you get a landing page created, and you get unlimited landing pages in your account. Okay. So just since we're in here, let's just talk real quickly about what's going on. What do we have access to? We have access to really powerful listing marketing. We should be able to auto sweep your listings and create single property websites, virtual tours, put virtual tours on YouTube. We'll dive down here a little bit later. I'll give you the ability to run ads, print flyers, nearby homeowner letters, all great, powerful stuff. It's the reason why many of our clients run their listings through our platform and get 2 or 3 more listings, right? Of course they get buyers, but they get more listings. And so we'll talk about why that's the case. Like I mentioned earlier, there are 80 PDF guides. And when you log in, you're going to put in your logo, your color, your theme, your branding, and that's going to flow through every PDF guide. And you can decide, do I want to work with the 80 buyer guides or with the 80 seller guides? Now, there's also landing pages. I mentioned that. Actually, we logged in, but there's unlimited landing pages. There's also a really cool client reviews page. If you have your client reviews out there, get your reviews here, come to this page. It says add reviews. You can import them from where, like Google and Zillow and Testimonial Tree, or they're sitting out on Facebook. You can copy them over, right? And then they'll live on a page that we created for you. I'll show you that page in just a little bit. And then lastly, we've got our ad software. So we actually have Facebook's ad software built into this, and we have Google's ad software built into this. And it's actually pretty difficult to run an ad and not get leads. We have clients generating thousands of leads every week. But there are times where it doesn't actually happen. Remember, I was saying in the mastermind group, this lady was saying, I ran a home value ad, and I'm going to show you that because I'm going to tell you what I think it's going to be. Let's see here. I ran a free home value ad for a week, got 62 clicks, but no leads came through. Now, we haven't gone to go look at what it was. Let's see if there's some comments. Maybe she showed what she did. Yeah. And this is what I think she did. Let's go to landing pages so that you can see. So when you log in, like I mentioned, there's all kinds of landing pages already created for you. And this one is in every one of your accounts, right? And it says, this one, Scott's kind of customized. It doesn't even say name your price. It says something like home values in your market have changed. It's like, that's the default. But that background picture that you're looking at, that's a default picture. And I don't know where you guys are sitting, but if your markets don't look like that, you want to take a moment and click this pencil and upload a photograph that looks like your market, because this page is going to ask people for their address and for their email address to give them an instant home value. And if this doesn't look like your area, and again, I don't know where that agent is, that's going to be a problem. However, this kind of landing page, a lot of realtors know what that is. And they're thinking, oh, I want listings. I want to run an ad. So it's so easy. Click here, click marketing tools, and click the first thing we drop you on is Facebook and Instagram. So notice while I'm yammering on here, it's pre-written, right? It's a $50 ad for 7 days. Looks like this. It says Rockland here, and that's because Scott's been working with it, right? So he's been typed in something. Yours will not say Rockland. It'll just say home values have changed, right? So again, I don't know where this lady is who said I got a bunch of clicks, but no leads. And let me tell you what that means. This is the page. You're running the ad, and this has a little bit to do with Facebook and Instagram, or I'm sorry, Facebook lead ads and traffic. So lead ads are the thing that I tell all clients to use every day. There's really no real reason for me to even suggest traffic. What traffic means is if I see this ad and I like the idea, I click on it and boom, it drops me on this page. And then here's where I got to drop my address in, right? Now, if this page doesn't look like your area, I might think, what is this? Some kind of national spam campaign? I don't even know. I don't know who you are. I just liked this text and I clicked on it. And because I had traffic, I landed right on this page, and 62 people in a 7-day period did just this, and they didn't give her any information. And I'll tell you something. So you don't know this about us. We've been doing this for 15 years. And I remember it was probably 10 years ago, I signed up a company called Windermere. And Windermere had 250 offices in the Western United States. And we launched them all, right? And so we could really analyze what was happening from one state to the next. And what we learned is that when you ask people in the Pacific Northwest, like Washington and Oregon and stuff like that, they will not fill out anything online. Just no comfort level with giving information. You do this in Florida or anywhere else, no problem. People fill that out. So I got the feeling that she used that landing page in an area that didn't look like this, and maybe even did it in the Pacific Northwest, which this would just not fly at all, right? You can make it fly. You got to make it look like your area, but you can't go generic like this. But let me say something here. If she had just taken this one step and clicked on lead ads, the ad would look exactly the same. It would look exactly the same to the consumer. It would be on Facebook. And every person that clicked on that ad, a little window would pop up on Facebook and it would say, would you like your home value? And there's one answer, yes. And their name, email, and phone number is sitting right there. Let me click on advanced options. You don't need to do this in when you're running an ad, but this right here is showing you that we ask them, what's your time frame to sell, which is a dropdown with some options. And their name, phone number, and email is sitting already populated. That's the power of Facebook. All right. When I say that we've done this for 15 years, we've been capturing leads all over the place for 15 years. And nowhere have I seen that you can get name, phone number, and email as easily as these Facebook ads. And those fields that we're looking at right there, they are auto-populated from the person's profile, the person who clicked on it. And they're very comfortable with that, right? Like I said, in contrast, if you lob this page out somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, they're not comfortable with typing anything in there, right? Maybe they're going to give you a Mickey Mouse at Disney.com, right? But that's the issue. And that's the power of Facebook. That's why I talk a lot about doing Facebook. Now, you don't need to create a form. I'm just letting you know, all you have to do is type in, the name of your favorite town, right? And hopefully your page looks like that town so that if I'm looking at it there, it's making sense. It says Memphis, I'm targeting Memphis, and there's a picture of Memphis. That's the thing. And I can 100% tell you, I know that she didn't do lead ads because she would have had name, email, and phone number. But I highly doubt she did anything that made it local speaking to her area as well. So anyway, let's go back and let's talk about setup. Okay. So I'll show you a lot of things that are going on, but when you log in, and if you're not a client already and you're going to sign up, you're going to get dropped onto this wizard. And it's surprising to me. I talk to a lot of agents when they sign up, they don't set up half the stuff here. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to ask for your headshot. That's usually agents are comfortable doing that, right? And I would say 60% of agents are comfortable putting their logo and getting their colors. Then it starts to get tricky because the next page says, connect your social media, right? And this is auto posting. So we're going to auto post your listings at every stage, at just listed, open house, pending, and sold. There's going to be landing pages behind it every time so you can capture free leads. And we can also auto post your home valuation landing page, your new construction, first time home buyers, just if you connect right here. You click through, it's going to show your name and you say yes on Facebook and it says what business page. The rest of them, you just click through and connect, boom, boom. Right here, I don't know what percentage of people fall off right here because they're like, oh, I don't know my password, right? Or whatever. But you want to connect all of them. You want to connect all of them because then in your listing presentation, you can say, I am posting your listings all over the top social media account. Here, there's also a disconnect here because it's asking you to connect to Facebook again, but this time it's connecting to your ad account. So when I showed you how to run the ads, that ad is always going to be branded by your page, sponsored by you, the Rockstar Realtor, right? The ad is paid for on the credit card that you have in your account. People can't get this far, right? And then this is where all just falls apart. We're asking for a third time to connect. Why? Because we have social media content that is increasing the networks. It's growing the networks of our clients on Instagram, and it's taking Google My Business. If you have that, it's taking it to page one of a Google search, real estate search. So if you're using Google My Business, you absolutely have to do this. You can see there's inspirational stuff, there's outdoor living stuff, there's home design. There's even the PDF guides, there's holiday stuff. But the PDF guides that I mentioned are super valuable. We put them up. You can say 1 day a week or 7 days a week. That's a set and forget kind of area, right? Then here is where we are pulling in your listings. So if you have listings, or even if you don't, put your email address in here that's inside your MLS. Okay. And if you don't have your own listing, and sometimes you can just grab a listing. So maybe you've got a colleague and you've asked them if you can advertise so you can get some more leads, or maybe you're going to do an open house for somebody. I'll tell you in a few minutes when we go look at a couple of the tools here. One of our agents did just that. She did an open house for another agent. It wasn't her listing, but she pulled the listing in, and we gave her all these tools, and she went door knocking the neighborhood with our nearby homeowner letter and gets her own listing and so you can borrow listings to advertise. Now here, you can connect your own CRM. We've got APIs from a number of the top CRMs. So this is where you connect. So when you're capturing a lead from us, boom, it's going to drop right in there. If you don't have a good CRM, or you haven't set it up, they're so complicated. So I have a lot of clients saying, oh, I've been paying for KV Core. I cannot figure it out. And I'm like, turn on our follow-ups. Our drip campaigns have a higher open rate than the bulk of the CRM companies out there. And our drip campaigns are closing appointments for people. I'm pretty sure if you're using these CRMs, and these are great companies, we know them all. If anybody here is using any of these companies, and if you can tell me it's closing appointments, please tell me the name of that CRM. Because honestly, drip campaigns are something, it's like a box that you need to check if you're in any industry. I'm getting leads. I need to have a drip campaign. Check the box. Does it close appointments? No idea. The answer is usually no, right? You got to keep calling them, and then the automatic emails go and this and that. Ours, because we're embedding our PDF guides and our landing pages throughout the drip campaigns, these people actually can get more useful information. And that's bringing it closer to a close. Here's where you add your reviews and you're all done, right? That's it. There'll be some kind of survey questions, but you don't really need to worry about that. That's how you set up your account. And at that point, you can run ads. Your listing should be in there. As soon as your listings hit, we're going to auto post them to social media for you. There's going to be landing pages. You might actually capture free leads. We've seen that happen many times within 24 hours of signing it. Now, if you feel like, you know what, I've got a listing in here and I want to run an ad, you just go right over to ads because you already connected your Facebook ad account, because that was part of the wizard, the setup, right? And here's how you do it. You go to Facebook ad, you click create listing ad, and you can leave it on. Remember here, this is where you see lead ads and traffic and video. I'm not worried about video at all. I definitely don't recommend traffic. I always recommend lead ads. So if you see the option of traffic, get it to lead ads. Other way, because that's what I think this lady did. That's 62 clicks and no leads. That means that, I'm repeating myself, 62 people liked her ad, clicked on it, and didn't give her any information. That would not happen with a lead ad. You'd have name, email, and phone number. Okay, let's click create ad one more time. And are there any questions? I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Are there any questions about anything we got here? So you see everything here. This is done. You could literally click that green button and it's off. It's a 7-day ad. Whenever we're doing ads whenever the ad is designed to get buyers, our budget is $35. And that's over 7 days. It's $5 a day. I don't know where you guys are sitting, but on average, a buyer lead on Facebook costs $3 each. Okay. So if you divide 3 into 35, you would expect 11 leads from this, right? Maybe 12, maybe 10. Average is $3. There are some things that I do want you to understand though. Right here, it says it's in Folsom. So we've automatically pulled Folsom over here, and it's like Folsom plus a 15-mile radius. If you live in like more rural or wide open areas, you might want to expand that to 30 miles, right? If there's something missing here in this box that you feel like would be relevant, maybe it's got a barn, maybe it's got great schools, right? You can type it right there and people are going to see it. And this here that you got to fit an image here, that's a template. There are multiple templates over here that you can choose, and maybe there's one that you like more. But here are the really important things you need to realize, especially if you're in the southern states or if you're selling a home that is like a second home area. There's a nice lake nearby, and you know that if you market this home to people in the big city, they're going to want to see it. Or maybe you're down in Texas where inventory is building, or Florida where inventory is building, and you know that people want to get out of the cold states up north. Or maybe those poor people in the West Coast that had a fire by Santa Monica, they're already trying to find homes now, right? And there might not be homes in LA, so they're going to move out to where they can find one. You might be in Arizona, they might totally be into that. There are places, people are always moving to the south from the horrible winters up in the north, right? So this kind of thing works. You know that. You've probably been in real estate, you know that. We even have clients in Florida. I have a large office that has, I think she's from Ecuador. Yeah, I think she's from Ecuador. And so she has units for sale in Quito, in Miami, that she markets down in Ecuador because they like to come up there, right? So you can do that sort of thing too. That's important. It is for some of us, not for all of us. Here is something that's important for all of us. This static image is cool. You can make it a little cooler with a template. You can also click this button that says change image and video. And if you invest in video, which not all of you do, you could upload the video right there and it would replace that static image. But if you don't do that, you can also do what I'm doing here. You can click on 5 images and click insert. And this is going to create a carousel ad. And this can be a more effective ad. You can see more of the home and maybe you're more likely to get that lead. If you don't like the order, you can just go down here and say, oh, I like that up here. And there you go. That sort of thing. But here's the thing about Facebook. Every ad that you run is going to be seen by 1, 2, 3, maybe 4,000 people every time. So if you remember when I was saying up here, you got to run an ad every week. That means your business page is going to be seen about 10,000 times every month. And you're going to capture leads every week, right? I don't know where you guys are, right? But I'm going to guess you're competing against thousands of agents in whatever market you're in. And how does anybody know you're an actual realtor in those markets? Because usually it's really only your friends and family, right? That's why I definitely recommend, and Scott recommends that you're running ads every week on Facebook. The minimum budget is what I tell rookie green agents. They have no business. They don't know what's going on, not much income. I still tell them spend $200 a month on Facebook, $50 a week. And for that, your business page will be seen about 10,000 times. And your leads, you'll capture between 50 and 120 leads every month, right? That's what you'd get for $200 on average. So what kind of ads can you run? You can run ads on listings like we just did. You can run ads on any of those PDF guides that we just were talking about. PDF guide ads, these leads cost more. So if you're running an ad for buyers on Facebook, those leads cost $30. If you're running an ad on just sold on Facebook, those leads cost about $7. If you're running an ad for homeowners on Facebook with any of the 40 PDF guides, these leads often cost around $10 and even more. Okay. So the lead cost is going up when you're trying to get seller leads, right? You can also run ads on landing pages. And just so that landing page that we were talking about, that free home value that the poor lady ran an ad and got 0, that lead typically costs $15 a lead. Okay. So that's an expensive lead. If you're trying to get sellers, my recommendation is you're running ads on sold properties or pending or under contract properties because those lead cost less, $7 a lead as opposed to $15 a lead. go back to, let's talk about the PDF guides. And marketing a PDF guide is similar to marketing a landing page. You create the landing page, you customize it, you put a picture, there's all kinds of ways to do that, of customizing. But once you've done it, you could say, hey, I want to market it. And there's going to be a button that says market tool. And so what we're looking at here is almost the exact same thing you can do when it comes to marketing a landing page, which is run it out on Facebook, run it out on Google, share for free on social media. You get an e-flyer for your database. You got all your leads sitting over there in your CRM. You're going to copy this. You're going to take it to your KV Core or whatever you got, Lofty. And it's this link, that picture, that link, and that link all drive to landing pages that capture leads for you. That's why I was saying you need to do this once a week, because your drip campaigns from those awesome CRMs have no call to actions. They got your picture and your phone number, and it's call me when you need some help. Whereas our drip campaigns, our tools have things that they can click and download and get more information. And you know that people want more information in real estate, right? Now, there are also print flyers. It's funny, in the Mastermind group just a couple of weeks ago, one of our clients was saying, hey, I did this open house and I printed out PDF guide flyers just like this one for 4 or 5 different PDF guides that I thought were important. And he gets those little like plastic signs, they just stand up tabletop signs. And he puts this, like one in the laundry room, one in the bathroom sink, and just spread out around the house, because people know what to do with a QR code. They can download that for free as long as they give you their name and email, right? The same guy actually took the QR code. When we do an open house, we actually create an open house sign-in form. It's really cool. It's electronic. It's great. And he puts it right on the front door and says, the homeowners would like you to scan this and register before you come in. So he's just gathering all the information, not even asking him to sign it. Just, hey, just scan that and pop in your information. Just nice and easy. So you can learn a lot in the Mastermind group. Okay. So now we know that we got listing marketing, we got ad software, we got PDF guides, we got landing pages. The social content is set and forget. You don't even need to go back there. And you know that you got client reviews. I want to talk about a couple of new things that our clients are really liking. First, let's go up to the marketing calendar. And at this point, I don't know, maybe your heads have exploded or they're spinning. So you're not quite sure, what am I going to do? This marketing calendar is really a great way to get started. Monday is listing marketing. Tuesday is sold and pending marketing. It's going to get you more listings. PDF guide marketing on Wednesday. So buyers, sellers, right? Thursday, it's some other kind of unique landing pages that you want to get out. And Friday is the same sort of thing, right? Great plan to execute. And when you click on any of them, we give you a checklist that you can look at. We give you really detailed instructions on how to do it. And then you just decide, which one do I want to market? Okay, that one. Now, when I click on market, this checklist that you're going to see here is pretty much identical to this. We're just trying to make it easier for you, but honestly, it's go through this list, right? The checklist could be helpful for you. But there's also a couple of other things that I want you to know about on this checklist. And one is, well, you can get back to our page at where we started, leadgenwebinars.com. But up here is a link to our YouTube channel, which I said you should join, a link to our Instagram post. And honestly, I definitely recommend you follow us on either YouTube or Instagram. Scott's doing 1-minute videos. They call them shorts on YouTube. They call them, I don't know what they call them on Instagram, stories maybe. 1 minute long. And what he's doing is we get feedback all the time. People will say, hey, I did this and I got that. He breaks that down in 1 minute. This is what they got, and here's how you do it. I definitely recommend following us on those platforms. And then the Mastermind group, which is critical. I think it's very important. So there's another cool thing, and it's on the listings page. And we've had a listing presentation for years. And for many years, people say, oh my God, I use this. You can't beat this. I win every presentation I'm on, right? And we're really happy to help. You can actually create a listing for a listing presentation. So let's say you're going to go on a listing presentation. You got a seller lead, you got an appointment, you're going to go visit. Go take a picture of the house and go create the listing, put in one photograph and have the status as a listing presentation. Okay. Here's why. Our listing, it's basically 26 pages long. Okay. And it talks about what we do automatically. It doesn't ever mention listings to leads. It's got your branding on it. Right. But you see this big photograph? It's the photograph of their home right here. So this is really unique to the particular homeowner you're talking with. And it says, this is what I do. I do paid ads. I do social media marketing. I have virtual tour on YouTube. It doesn't say we're doing this automatically. Listings to leads doesn't talk about us all. It says I got a nearby homeowner letter. I do email marketing. I got some stuff for sphere of influence, which is going to go back to you, the homeowner. I even have virtual tours and single property websites, and I have e-flyers, and I even have everything mobile optimized. You can say, hey, homeowner, take a picture of that QR code and let's see what happens. What's going to happen is their home's going to pop up on their website, on their phone. So it makes you look like a tech guru as well, right? Like you really know what you're doing. And then it just goes on. You should get this and download it and have that on your desk. The one we're looking at right now is for a particular listing. I recommend that you get this one, which is the listing presentation here. And you can look at the flip book version here, or you can download this one here, right? And because I know that you got a million things going on, I actually recommend you download and print this thing, because having it in front of you is going to really remind you of what you have available to you. So that flip book is what's new. Our clients are really excited. They're finding ways to mail it to their clients and all this. It's just moving the conversation much quicker. And that brings us to the last new cool thing. And this is an add-on to the system. There's only a few add-ons that we have. One is Text IVR, and Text IVR is down here. And what that does is, if you make a sign writer or if you do a post, we associate a code to that home. So if you got a text writer in front of the house on the sign, and it says text that number to that number, people could sit right in their car and just text that number to that number, and boom, they're going to get a mobile optimized website. And you, the agent, are going to get the address they're sitting in front of and the phone number. So you could easily text them and say, hey, I see you're looking at that home. That's a 3-2. Is that what you're looking for? And you just start texting back and forth. Okay. Until they're ready to talk. And that kind of brings up this little cool thing here. The Text IVR is the QR code is, I think, $10 a month for up to 10 listings. But we launched AI text follow-up last October. And what this does is it's super smart AI, and we've trained it and we've trained it to convert buyer leads and seller leads to phone call appointments. Okay. So when you think of capturing leads, and that's what I've been talking about for about 45 minutes, and you think about capturing leads and naming them and phone number, you probably think that you should call them immediately, right? That's what people think. But we all learned that, I think, even before cell phones, right? And now cell phones that tell you if I know that person or I don't. Your phone calls might even say spam, suspected spam, right? But the world is always changing. And one of the worst things about it is the scams that are all over the place in your email, on Facebook, and on the phone. You could literally somebody could call you. You could say two words and boom, you put yourself at risk. It's just that scary. And that's why people don't want to be taking phone calls from people they don't know. So if you go out and do your own research, like what's the best way to convert leads, you'll find that the top 3 ways are email, phone calls, and text. And everybody gets 200-300 emails every day. And we already know that people don't like phone calls because scary. The number one way of converting leads is texting them. And you can text all the leads you want. You don't need AI text follow-up, but please text your leads until they're either say, thanks for all that info, goodbye, or I'd like to schedule a call with you. Now, when you get on the call, you close an appointment, you get the appointment, you close a contract, right? That's how you convert leads. Our AI text follow-up costs right now $50 a month, and you can work up to 50 leads at a time for that. And it's converted 10% of our leads to phone calls. And I'm pretty sure most of you feel comfortable on the phone, right? If that person is ready to talk, that's the kind of phone call you want. So you can do it yourself, but just so you know, we've got some really good AI text software here, and it will get better because we continue to train it to get better and better. And ideally, we're converting more leads. So that's some kind of new stuff. Let's go up here to the dashboard, because whenever you log in, we drop you on the dashboard, right? And I don't see any questions. See a lot of people here, but if you have questions, now would be the time to drop them, because I got about 12 minutes. When you come to the dashboard, you want to make a decision. Do you need buyers or you need sellers? And if you need buyers, I'll just tell you, run ads on listings. Just that's it. That's number one on Facebook. That's it. There are other things to do. They all cost more, but run ads on listings is the way to do it. Now, you can also run ads on Google, and Google, these leads cost more. Okay. But I want to talk about this a little bit. Let's say that I'm going to run an ad on Memphis, and I've created a landing page for Memphis, right? If you want listings and you've been in this business a while, you already know how important Google is, right? But I think, I don't know, maybe 40, 50% of all realtors have run an ad on Facebook, right? Maybe 50%. They tried it. Not saying that they had success. I would guess 10 to 20 max percent have had successful ads, meaning they captured more than 3 leads, right? We're not even getting into conversion, because that's like a small subset of realtors who have all that together, right? When you talk about Google, however, I would say 1 out of 20 agents have run an ad on Google. It's probably more like 1 out of 50. And I understand, because Google is hideous when you have to make an ad. I've run ads there, and we have their software. And because our clients are realtors, we make it very easy. You choose the tool that you want, and you type in the name of the city so it corresponds. Now, the link that it's going to, if they see the ad over here, the link is the landing page that we created inside of our account. And you should be creating them for your favorite farm markets. And you should run ads on Google by all means. Here's the thing about Google. First, let's give a little contrast. I keep talking about Facebook because I know that you can capture leads, and that's just how it is. The number 2 post is an ad, and you scroll down, you're going to see some other stuff, and then there's going to be another ad. American adults spend 40 minutes every day, not children, not teenagers. They're doing other fun stuff. 40 minutes a day scrolling through here, seeing what their relatives are doing, seeing where they went on vacation, seeing their old colleagues and what they're eating, and looking at cats and whatever. It's so compelling that people spend 40 minutes a day here on average. Okay. 70% of American adults. So if you lob up there, hey, I got an open house, or this just listed, those get leads. Okay. But here's the contrast. 86% of all questions happen on this page, google.com. Okay. And if I type in, what is my home worth? How do I sell my home? What are the taxes to sell my home? What's the cost to sell my home? Any kind of question, when you're running an ad with us, you don't need to click advanced, but we're actually putting all the keywords that are relevant to the tool you're using. Okay. When you're running an ad on Google, you have to write multiple headlines, 3. We write 10. You have to write multiple descriptions, 3. We write 4. Okay. So all you need to do for Google is, what do I want to market? And make sure I type in the right city. Now, I want to point out the budget is much higher, because I said it's the number 1 website in the country. And so they're like, hey, our leads cost more. Google sets the price. So we have $50 a day budget, and this scares agents away. And I totally understand. That's a $350 ad budget for the week. I have clients. We have a lot of teams. I have clients out in all over the country, and teams all over the country. And so I have a little bit of lead cost. That kind of ad, like on Memphis, that ad, that lead would cost you $30 each in Dallas, $22 each in Western Pennsylvania, and $17 each in Salt Lake City. And depending on where you are, that your lead costs could be higher and lower. I don't know because I don't talk to agents in every city in the country, but that's what I do know is what I just shared. So it's worth using it. It's worth testing because the lead quality is super high. People literally went to the website, had a question, they liked your answer, clicked on it, and gave you their information. That's a high intent lead. That's why it costs so much more. Okay. And to speak a little bit, not to the Google leads, but let's talk about the Facebook one. I'm gonna talk about a client of ours who came in. This guy here, Brian here owns an office just south of Dallas. Actually, it's just south of Dallas. Yeah, and I signed up their office 2 years ago, and so he does a lot. He's really trying to use our system and train his agents to use our system. And he actually shared with us one of the videos that he did for his agents. And I want to share this with you. Give it a second. What's happening
here? Talking about listings, how are we going to do approach listings? How can we gain listings? Most of you are using the listings platform.
So I'll let him talk. Let me tell you what he said. We wanted to market a home that was sold to get seller leads. He says, but what was interesting is this home generated 114 buyer leads before we sold it, right? That makes sense. He gets buyer leads. He said, of the 114 buyer leads, 4 people bought homes, right? Now, if you do the math real quick, 114 buyer leads with the average cost is about $350. Yeah. So he spent $350 on 114 leads and had 4 people buy homes in Texas with those $350. My guess is there's some good ROI right there. Right. And he said, so after we sold it, we flipped the property to sold and we marketed and ran an ad and I got a $4 lead and we used text to in the morning and got this guy by the afternoon to have a meeting. He wants to sell a home for $400,000 and buy another for $450,000. That's all from our stuff. And if you go look at the post here, I asked Brian, I said, what did you do to that ad to get a seller lead? He goes, did you do it? And even somebody else. He said, I didn't do anything. I just used your default settings and I ran it there, right? I didn't do it. I just clicked, sold, boom, ran it. So that's how powerful our Facebook ad software is. Now, somebody asked a question, how did I create this page? How did I create that page right there? And that's a great question. You go to landing pages and Priya, where are you? What city are you in? And all of you should be creating these landing pages for your farm markets. Unless you like to just waste money like that poor lady did in the Mastermind group, you're in Baton Rouge. Oh yeah, I just read something about Baton Rouge. So here's how you do it. You click create landing page. You should actually, the Property Valuation Plus is the instant home value page. And so you type in Baton Rouge, right? And you click create landing page. And you want to capitalize it right because it's going to show up and we'll see it in just a second. You can actually do this for cities and you can do this for neighborhoods and developments, right? But targeting on Facebook with a development is tricky, but you might want to create, if you've got like a farm market that's a neighborhood and you want to create a landing page to really speak to that. Well, once you've done that, you're going to have print tools that you can mail to these people. Remember earlier I said, hey, you got to go buy a list of homeowners. If you have that development, you could do that, right? Let's open the editor. And I don't even think that lady who ran the ad and got no leads did this but sometimes people do this. You see that coffee cup and that's awfully generic, especially to put on the internet and ask people for your address and email address. Okay. So I don't recommend it. I do see agents doing it every once in a while, but I don't recommend it at all. I recommend that I don't know what a great landmark would be, but you want something over here on the left. It says upload image. You want a photograph that's 1800 pixels wide or 2000 pixels wide, because that thing is going to go pretty wide. And you want it to be something that everybody that lives in Baton Rouge knows. It could be a building, it could be a main street, it could be a really popular restaurant, right? I'll show you. I'll show you something here when I speak about that. So I set up Coldwell Banker in Summit, New Jersey years ago. And so whenever I set up an office, I will do calls and we'll do some setup calls, right? There it is. There it is. Yeah. Summit Diner, New Jersey. I think that's it there. And the manager called me. Oh my God. A month later, he's like, we're getting leads this way and that way. It's so great. He goes, well, what's so cool is the number one landing page for home values is the one that has the Summit Diner in the back, right? And not a lot of realtors would think that, but we're running ads all over the place and everybody is responding to this. Why is that? That's because it's sitting right on Main Street. It looks like it's this old railroad car deal. Everybody knows it. If you know this, Summit, New Jersey, and I might actually give you my contact information since you know my town, right? That's the point of putting a photograph that really makes sense. Once you've done that, yeah, you can run ads on Facebook, Google. You could share for free on your social media. And you even got, let me show you something. We got door hangers and prospecting letters. I don't even think I talked about the nearby homeowner letter. Oh my God, we're 12 o'clock. I'm sorry, guys. There's a letter that will point people to that website. It'll put your picture in there. You definitely got to use it. One of our clients, he will use the door hangers and sends them the Vista print. So it would have a picture of Memphis right there, Baton Rouge. He prints them at Vista print because it's really cheap if you do them in bulk orders of 1,000. And he just walks the neighborhood, doesn't knock on doors. He just hangs them. And he says, by the end of the day, I've got listing leads. One thing I forgot to mention on the listing side, I think I forgot to mention, is the nearby homeowner letter. And this is a good point to tell you, watch our calls on Top Tools for More Listings on our YouTube, because that is the number one tool for capturing listing leads that turn into listing contracts. So you want to do that when you have a home that is just listed or just sold. Let's go here. There's one that's just sold here. And about 6 down the list is nearby homeowner letter, right? And nearby homeowner letter, let's look at it. Now, I'll tell you this, Express Copy will mail this to people with equity. Remember how I told you go buy a list of people with equity? Express Copy will mail it. You don't have to buy the list. It is $185 for 100 pieces of mail, but they'll do a 1, 2, 3 mile radius and everybody has more than 6 years equity. This is the nearby homeowner letter. It's related to a listing. So if you have a listing in an area and you want more listings, this is the deal you got to get out. I mentioned at the beginning of the call or during the wizard that one of our clients borrowed a listing to do an open house, printed up this letter 50 times, walked the neighborhood and got her own listing because it said, hey, we've got a home just listed in your area. Go check it out. That's going to affect your home value. Go here and get your free home value from a piece of paper. So you want to use that. That's why you want to listen to Top Tools for More Listings. I'm going to show you one more thing. I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. Pat Motley is a lady in Louisiana. Where is Baton Rouge? Isn't that down there, Priya? It's close, not too far. She has been a client, I want to say, for 14 years. She's been one of our earliest clients. And she's in the Mastermind group year in, year out, telling everybody, this is how I'm getting listings. And a couple of years ago, she said something I'd never seen anybody do. She says, I mail 100 just listed. And when the home is sold, I mail another 100. This is 100 that's sold. And she said, and once I'm done printing the 100, I flip it over and I use Microsoft Publisher to do this. Yeah. She's in Metairie, right? Then she hand folds these things and hand writes these things. Now, why in the world would she do that if I've got a company right here who will download it and print it and put it in envelopes and mail it? The reason is that the response, right? In the first 100, 4 people called her. When it was just listed, 4 people called her. They didn't even fill out the form. They just called her. It's like, okay, you're in my area, right? Oh, she's in New Orleans. Okay. And this is the second batch. And I asked her in the comments, how'd this go? And she says, oh, I got another 4 listings. So 1 home and 200 pieces of mail generated 8 listings for Pat. This is a tool that our clients really figure out how to use. Pat was also so gracious that she is sharing the software template or whatever you call it, that if you're using Microsoft Publisher, you just copy that, you edit it to make it work in your area, and that's gonna make your envelopes look like that, right? You know that the letter is not super sexy. We know that we live in an ADD nation, so we don't want it to be a heavy read. But if you're making it look like that, you got to open it. That's really all it is. So you scan it in 3 seconds, and you know what you got to do. Get your home value. If you look at that post, if you find this in the mastermind group, and you look of the conversation that happens by our clients for the next month or two, you will notice that the agents start talking. They find a font that they buy on a company called Fiverr, a font that works with a printer that looks like a handwritten font. And they even share the printer that they're using to use that font so that they don't have to do this by hand. Our mastermind group is awesome. It blows me away. As I mentioned at the beginning of the call, you should be scanning this thing every week for like 10 to 15 minutes. Here's another guy, Chris Winstead. I talk about him on the top tools for more listings as well. Chris, we learned about Chris when he shared this video, and he says, "Hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months." This is the last story. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Chris, this is in San Antonio, Texas. He was married in this period. It's 2020, married with kids, and his wife's family, they're in San Antonio. So they're like, "Hey, let's move over there so our kids can have family." And so whatever state he came from, I don't know, they moved down there, and "Oh, I like this neighborhood. I want to own it." So he starts borrowing listings from the agents in his Keller Williams office in his neighborhood. And he tells you in the notes down here that he mails the nearby homeowner letter every 2 weeks to people that have owned their homes for 5 years or more. He bought the list from Remind, right? And then he tells you in the notes, "This is what I do to close them." He's a machine, right? He works them. If you're getting leads from that, you want to do that, right? Now, the next thing he does, he becomes the top listing agent in that office. And a year after that, he just goes and starts his own office. So in 2022, he creates his own YouTube channel. And the first episode is, "Here is how I customize listings to leads tools to get more business. Join me," right? It's worth checking him out. The guy's a smart guy, and he definitely knows how to use our system. But this mastermind group, there's a lot of smart agents who are sharing a lot of what's going on. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We have a great support team. Ask them. It's funny. I had a call from some guy, and he told me they never answer the phone. Then I get a call from an agent 30 minutes later, and he's, "Oh my God, it was an office." He said, "We call your support team all the time. They are so helpful." Our support team is great. So definitely lean on that. Get back into this page, which is marketing calendar, and make sure and follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, get in the mastermind group. It's on the resources tab here. Get in the mastermind group. Let us know what's working for you. If you have questions, let us know. And please invest some time. I'm sending this to you right now. And if you're watching this on a recording, you can email me at Vincent Listings to Leads. But I just sent this link to this page. I highly recommend that you all are watching the first 3 rows. Whenever you decide to join us, the first 3 rows. If you're not a client, go there anyway. You're still going to learn a lot of things that have to do with the industry and not always about us. But thanks for hanging out with me here today, everybody. Get your program running. Spring's going to be here, and you want to be running. You don't want to be standing still at that point. All right, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out with me. And this call will probably be on this page tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.